Hey guys, today I'm taking you through 7 side hustles that you can start doing today to make money that are actually fun. And I say fun because I've seen some videos on this subject that are like, copywriting, thumbnail design. Maybe those things are fun to some people, but for me, they're extremely boring. And all of us have things that we're passionate about, that we're knowledgeable about. And these are the things that ideally you should be creating your side hustles around because you're gonna enjoy doing them, which means you're probably gonna work harder at it and be more successful. So we're gonna go through them. Now you can take any skill that you have or something you're knowledgeable about, right? This could be video games, it could be gardening, it could be an instrument or a sport. For me, I wanted to become a professional dancer, but I sucked at dancing and I didn't know where to go. So I started creating these side hustles around dance so that I could not only get better at dancing because I'm spending more time doing it, but I'm also making money as I go. And that's really the goal here, is to create fun side hustles, things that you guys are actually passionate about. Now, make sure you stick around for the full video because they're gonna get better and better as we go. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, what are you even doing? Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. I'm taking this channel from zero. You guys know I have my dance channel, 13 million subscribers. We're starting back at zero, baby. So every subscriber really means a lot. Now, let's get right into them. The first thing is teaching. And this is one of the most obvious ones, but so many people miss it because they think that you have to be a professional in order to start teaching. They think you have to be amazing at whatever it is you're teaching. But the truth is, around 90% of people that are searching or researching or following a subject are brand new beginners. They know nothing about it. So once you have a base level knowledge about something, a skill, you understand the foundation and the fundamentals, you can already start really effectively teaching beginners and actually help them sometimes even more than the people that are pro, because you remember what it was like to suck or to not know how to do certain things. It's a win-win-win all around, and it's not that hard to get clients. So in my case, dancing, what do? I go down to the local dance studios. I tell them, hey, I've been dancing for a while. I really want to teach beginners. Give me your brand new beginner class. Let me prove myself to you. I started putting ads up around the town on some little bulletin boards at the post office, some things in people's mailbox. Now this is back before like Instagram and stuff, but I put a post up on Facebook, got those family and friend referrals. There's so many things you can do to just get a few teaching clients here and there and something that you're passionate about. And next thing I knew, I was making $1,000 to $2,000 a month with really not that many hours. And again, the best part is I was doing something that I love and improving at it. So teaching is a great, great place to start. Now, number 2, we have content. And this is the one with probably the most upside potential, but the reason I didn't put it number 1 is because you don't make money right away. This is one where for a while, you're gonna be putting a lot of time into content and seeing no return, maybe some numbers, maybe some followers or some likes, but like no actual money back, right? You're just sunken costs into building this profile. But at some point, if you really create great content, you're gonna be able to leverage that to work with brands, sell courses, whatever it is you wanna do. So this is one that you're putting in knowing that it's a little bit more of a long-term return on it, but it's so rewarding to create content, just like I'm doing right now for you guys. I've been a dancer forever, but I'm really passionate about helping people grow their businesses and do what they love because I feel like I had such a tough time figuring out how to do it. I wanna help you guys. I wanna hear your stories. And now I'm starting to create content around growth and business and all the things that I love, right? So how do you create content? Where do you even start? Well, let's take cooking, for example, right? The obvious thing would be making dishes, showing them, taking pictures of them, maybe a video of me cooking it and being like, here's the final result. That's the obvious one, but there's a lot of competition in that. So what can you do online to separate yourself and sort of hack the growth on social channels? Well, the first thing is you have to think outside the box on content. We already talked about teaching. Teaching is a great way. Maybe I teach you how I cooked this dish. Okay, that's cool. But what else can I do to really make it entertaining? Because again, the people watching your content don't know how to cook. 90% of them, maybe 98% of them, right? People always think, oh, if I'm making cooking content, everyone on my page probably is a great chef. No, wrong. They don't know what they're doing. That's why they're watching your stuff. So when you're making content, you want to make it for the people that don't really understand too much of what you're doing, right? So maybe I do a challenge and say, what can I make in 5 minutes? And I show that process. Maybe I cook a dish and my friend cooks a dish and then we do a taste test. Maybe I do a blind taste test of a $100 meal versus a $5 meal and see if I can tell the difference, right? These are all things that as a chef, I have a more sophisticated palate to hopefully be able to tell the difference, or I'm giving insight on different dishes that I made. Maybe I even watch other people's videos and I react and give feedback. All of these are different types of content pieces that now allow beginners and non-cooking people to become interested in what I'm doing, as opposed to if I'm just showing a really complicated dish that I'm making, right? So the key to content is thinking outside the box. Again, doesn't matter. It's cooking, it's dance, it's comedy, it's football. It doesn't make a difference. Any topic you can take these concepts and apply to, and you will see your growth exponentially increase. Number 3 is to do it professionally. Sometimes the less obvious jobs are actually the better paying and the better opportunities. For example, I DJ, and when I was coming up as a DJ, I always thought if I can just get on clubs and festival lineups and play to these big crowds, I'm gonna make so much money. It's gonna be this amazing opportunity. It's gonna be so fun. It was fun. It was a great opportunity. Money, not so much, right? Again, unless you're at the very top and you're playing the headline slot to 100,000 people, you're actually much better off doing something else in the professional sphere of DJing, which is corporate gigs and weddings. They pay a lot better. It's a lot easier. It's less stress. You show up, you do your job, you're out. It's actually a really incredible way to make money in an amazing side hustle. And so while everyone is up here competing for these festival gigs, I was able to just kind of come along and scoop up this and take that. And next thing I knew, I was making a lot more money than I did when I was competing for the sort of sexy jobs that everybody wanted to get, right? So whatever field you're in, don't forget to also look at the low-hanging fruit. It might not be the most fun or the biggest opportunities, but it'll be that great side hustle that allows you the freedom or the funds to be able to build what else you want to build. Now, number 4 is to consult and help other people build their businesses too, right? After I got a little bit of momentum, I was teaching a couple classes, making some content, started to make a little bit of money. Some friends came along and say, hey man, we're dancers too, and we really love dancing, but we're struggling. You know, how did you create that content? How are you doing these brand deals? How did you get these classes? And I said, all right guys, come on, let's do this thing, right? And I showed them how I was doing it. I let them in, I coached them, and I brought them up as well. And I was able to charge for those services, and they were of course super happy to pay them because they were making more money and they were getting opportunities. And guess what? Other people started to see them doing that, and they said, hey, how are you guys doing that? And they said, oh, Matt helped us, right? And so I got more referrals. And eventually what I was able to do is, instead of just going one by one and coaching these people, these dancers, I was able to create some materials around it, some videos, some PDFs, some things that I could just direct to people. So I wasn't necessarily always trading my time for money, and I could just do something like a monthly coaching call where I'm trading a lot less time, but I'm still able to scale this idea and help a lot of people. Number 5 is to create a community around whatever it is that you're doing. And I have a great example because for me, I hate to run. And a lot of people are surprised by that. I'm a professional dancer, I should be in great shape. No, I hate cardio, I hate running. So because I know this, but I know that I should be running a little bit, I joined this thing in Miami called the Run Club. Easy, you show up at a location, they have a route, you run it, you get to the end. Now, what could happen at the end is you could just say, great job everyone, have a good night, see you next week. But that's not what they do. Each run every week has a sponsor. It might be a restaurant, it might be a clothing store, and the run finishes at wherever the sponsor's location is, and all of the runners get a discount or maybe something for free in exchange for finishing the run. And the Run Club is able to charge the sponsor for that opportunity. So this is an incredible example of something that is so simple, running, but they took it and they made it fun by bringing people together, by planning a route. And then at the end, you get to this amazing location that makes sense with what you're doing and what you want. Oh, actually, I am really hungry and I could use something healthy after my run, right? Or I did really need some new shoes because I noticed my ankles were hurting halfway through. Wow, we're at a run shop and they're offering me 40% off, right? Such a genius collaboration. It's win-win-win all around, and they're able to monetize something that they love in running. Now, as with all of these, you want to think about how could this work for you. Maybe you're into something that's a little more intellectual. Well, you could start a Discord or a Facebook group that people have to pay for access to, where they get coaching or they get to share ideas. And by creating community in this way, you're not only making a bit of a side hustle, but you're also building an insane network that you are seen as the leader of. So you're able to create so many other opportunities from this network as it continues to grow. Number 6 is one of my favorites, and that's throw an event. I like to party, I like to have fun, I like to bring people together, I like to see them having fun. So what better way to do that than throw an event? So a really great example of this one that will get your gears turning a bit because it's outside the box is there's a guy named Destroying on YouTube. He makes football content. And again, you might think like, okay, what could you do with football? Maybe show some plays, maybe break some things down, maybe show how good you are at catching or drills. But what Destroying did is he created a challenge, a game, a show around football, where basically you have one receiver and one defensive back, and they run a route, and if the receiver catches it, he wins. If the defensive back swats the ball away, he wins. But what he did is he made it an event. So you invite a ton of people out, get all this energy going, the winner gets a prize, and now there's stakes, right? You have these two guys that really don't like each other, and everyone has their favorite, and people are yelling and screaming, and he's filming the whole thing, making content and YouTube videos around it. He has sponsors for it. He has all these things going, but it's all built off of this live event, right? So you throw an event, you get a bunch of people together that have a similar interest, and then you can figure out how to monetize it with sponsorships, content. All that becomes a lot easier once you have that attention and you're known for throwing those types of events. Now, last one, number 7, is my personal favorite, and that's starting a business that solves a specific problem in the subject that you're in. So for this one, you have to do a little bit of digging. You have to really think of what are the things that I keep coming back to that are struggles for me and my friends in this space. For me, one of the biggest problems I had growing up is I lived in a small town. I didn't live in LA or Miami or New York, and there wasn't an opportunity to take dance classes. There were no hip hop classes, and if they were, they weren't very good. And so I was having a hard time finding training. And even now, with YouTube and all these other things, it's still difficult to find quality dance training where people are uploading consistently and breaking things down properly. So the business that I started, it's called dncr.com, and it's an online dance school, and we upload regular tutorials from beginner all the way to pro. So every week you can come on, you can learn new things from different teachers, and we simplify everything down. So even if you have zero dance experience, you too can learn how to dance, bust out some moves at a party, if you have a wedding coming up, or you just want to have fun and get some exercise, right? So the problem was not a lot of people have access to proper dance training. The solution was create an online platform that allows people to feel comfortable, even with no dance experience, starting their dance journey, right? So you have to do some soul searching and figure out, what is this for you? What is missing in your field? Maybe it's an app, maybe it's a community, maybe it's throwing the events. All of the first 6 things that we talked about could either be small little side hustles, or they could be things that you expand into a business, right? Say teaching is going so well that now you have 20 people that want private lessons every week, and you have 10 studios that want to bring you in, and this convention wants to fly you out, right? Teaching is going really, really good to the point where you can't even handle all of the work. Now it's time to take it and elevate it and turn it into a business and bring in other teachers and train them and start pushing them out to your private lessons. Start to offload some of the time-consuming work and focus on the vision, focus on scaling it, right? And that's why taking these side hustles and just sort of planting seeds is so important. We talked about this on my last video of my different streams of income, and I said I do some real estate, I have a car rented out on Turo, I make dance tutorials, I do all these things, right? And not all of them are full-time. Some of them are just, I plant the seed, I water a little bit, and then I let it go. And if all of a sudden it starts to take off, then I double down there and I focus more time. You want to do the same thing with these side hustles. I recommend planting a few seeds in areas that really speak to you, and then just keep checking back. If something starts to do so well that you can't keep up, that's when you know you need to focus your attention there and scale up. Hopefully this video gave you some insight. I would love to know in the comments what you guys thought. Which ones are you the most excited about? If you take action, please let me know how it goes. This is a new channel for me, a new endeavor, so I'm really excited to get your feedback and see how I can provide as much value as possible. Thanks for tuning in today. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys back for another video real soon.